This episode, episode 4, was probably my favorite episode of season 47 so far. We just got to see some really, really good gameplay that kind of shined a light on who some of these power players are. I am super excited to dive into this episode with y'all, but before we get started, please make sure you hit that subscribe button below if you have not already. I'll be here covering Survivor all season long, plus I also talk about some other reality shows too from time to time, so make sure you're subscribed for more reality TV updates. Now, let's get into it. So this episode kicks off with the Red Tribe coming back to camp after their last tribal council. After last week, it looked like these were the dynamics in the game. Teeny and Kishan were a tight duo, and so were Rome and Genevieve, leaving Saul as the odd one out. Now, it did look like Rome was trying to form a majority alliance and join forces with Kishan and Teeny, but it just didn't look like it was super solidified from their perspective. But nevertheless, Rome is going to continue to go along with this majority alliance plan, and he's also going to continue to push for Saul to be the next one out. We see Rome constantly stalking Saul on the island, trying to prevent him from finding any idols or advantages or anything. This man is out there getting on Saul's very last nerves, and honestly, he's doing it in this way that is very bold and very brash and honestly a little rude.
Can I have a minute alone, please?
No! It's Survivor. I don't have to. I'm gonna follow you around.
Now, can I sit over there by the beach alone?
I'm gonna sit right next to you. That's fine.
All right, whatever.
It is about as awkward can be.
But at the same time, Rome is playing hard, and hey, it is very funny and entertaining for me. I mean, don't get me wrong, as far as a social game goes, this strategy is pretty terrible, but hey, at least it's entertaining. And that's all we really want to see at the end of the day, right? Because of all this drama going on surrounding him, I really don't think Rome has a great shot to win the game at all. But at least he is a good character for us. That's all I can say. Meanwhile, on the Yellow Tribe, Sierra is busy trying to set herself apart from Sam in the game. The other players on the other tribes are starting to see those two as a pair, and Sierra doesn't really want to be publicly associated with anyone like that, so she's gonna do a little bit of double dipping and trying to work with the girls at the same time. So all the girlies on the Yellow Tribe are now gonna form this little alliance that they're calling the Breadwinners, which I absolutely adore this name for them. And at first I'm really excited about this whole thing and really excited to see all the girlies coming together to work, but that is until Sierra pretty much immediately runs and goes snitches on this whole entire thing to Andy. Ugh, I swear, a good girls' alliance is just so hard to come by these days. I swear, if I had $1 for every time I've seen a girl snitch on her own girls' alliance to a freaking man, I'd have enough to at least take myself to Barbados or something by now, at least. Now, everybody knows about this whole girls' alliance thing, and things are looking pretty messy between Sam and Sierra. I do still think that Anika would be the most likely next boot off this tribe, but hey, we'll just have to wait and see. Meanwhile, over on the Blue Tribe, the main focus seems to be on Sue. We're getting a lot of the same content that we've been getting from her all season long. We hear a lot of her talking about how underestimated she is at the game. She is talking a lot about how nobody knows just how smart and intelligent she really is, and how nobody would ever guess that she's a pilot in real life. It's really a lot of not so humble bragging. This lady is even out there lying about her age, which, hey, go off girl, I'm not mad at you at all. All in all, I'm getting this impression that Sue is ready to pop out soon. And of course, she gets her time to shine when she eventually stumbles upon a beware advantage. But there is a very, very dirty twist to finding this idol, as it is hidden in a bucket of red paint. Now, they did something similar to this back in season 42, I believe, and I really liked it then, and I really liked it now. I just think there's something kind of cute and cheeky to the idea of somebody literally getting caught red-handed with an idol. And let me tell you, Sue is very, very close to getting caught here. She's able to cover up most of the paint, but she does end up missing a few spots on herself. Luckily for her, I don't know if anybody really knows what's up, even though, let's be honest, she did an absolutely terrible job of lying about it.
Is your chin okay?
Yeah, I think I probably couple.
Did you fall?
I was playing with the machete. I'm good. It's okay.
Is that blood in your hair?
Why did you cut yourself?
I'm okay. I didn't cut myself. I just did something stupid. I'm fine. But I bit the back of my tongue.
Next, it is time for the players to head off into their next immunity challenge. At first, everything is going smoothly here. It's looking like your standard survivor challenge up until they get to that puzzle. For some reason, Rome just completely chokes here and is unable to do anything right. I mean, this man completely bombs. He wasn't even able to lay down a single freaking puzzle piece that entire time. Now, I don't want to sit up here and judge too much because honestly, I've never done a puzzle like that in my life, so really, I don't know how I would do. But needless to say, his tribe ends up losing very, very badly here, sending them to tribal council once again. But before everybody heads back to camp, it is now time, yet again, for them to choose one person from the tribe to go on a special journey out to Advantage Island, as I like to call it. Now, I'll admit, I am starting to get a little bit bored of this whole journey twist in this new era. They've just done it so many times at this point that I'm starting to get a little bit tired of it. I'm pretty sure we've had something like this during every single season of the new era so far, but also for those exact same reasons, I wouldn't be surprised if they were here to stay at least until Survivor 49 or 50. Andy, Teeny, and Carolyn are all chosen to go from their tribes, and when they arrive, they are given a prompt that pretty much goes like this. They must choose one person amongst them to lose their vote, or else they all lose their vote. But if they are able to pick somebody, then they'll all get an advantage. Again, these journeys just seem a little bit lackluster to me at this point, and if I was a player in the game, it just seems like a terrible move to want to go on one of these things in the first place. But after a little bit of arguing, Teeny eventually decides to just take one for the team and lose her vote, and I really hate that for her. I guess she just felt safe enough because her name isn't on the chopping block this time, but as we're about to see, she may come to regret that decision very soon. I think the worst part about this whole thing is the advantage that she won isn't even a good one. It's really just a third of an idol that she can't even use by herself. Now her best bet is that Andy and Carolyn are voted out the game, and honestly, vice versa for them. I'm telling you, if I was playing this game, I would hate that idol in particular so freaking much. But hey, you have to play with the hand you're dealt, I guess. Meanwhile, back at the Red Tribe's camp, Rome is still dead set on getting Saul out immediately. He wants this man out so bad that he is damn near threatening him for his shot in the dark. Like, the beef between these two is crazy.
I'm letting you know that right now. And you'll be going home. I have the
What are you
advantage.
talking about, bro? You're like threatening me right now.
This isn't a threat. I'm just letting you know the situation.
Is this real life, bro?
This is Survivor, bro.
So Saul's name is obviously on the chopping block here, but of course the vote is never really that simple, and Kishan happens to have a few tricks up his sleeve. It looks like Kishan has had it with Rome's antics and he is ready for him to go. So Kishan's gonna walk around the island trying to gather his numbers, and for a second there it looked like it was pretty solid and that Rome was gonna be set to go. But of course, as I just said, the vote is really never that simple, and as it turns out, Miss Genevieve has a few tricks up her sleeve as well. This lady has been invisible to us pretty much all season long, but now she is ready to show her ass. Once Genevieve eventually finds out that Kishan had her name in his mouth, it is up, and now she wants him to go. It's just going to be a little trickier for her to get the votes at this point because she's going to need to get Saul on board too. And there's also that steal a vote, a missing vote, and some shot in the darks at play as they all head into tribal council. During this tribal, most of the conversation is revolving around the beef between Saul and Rome. So for a second there, it's looking like one of them would definitely be the one to go. But things take an interesting turn when Rome decides to steal Kishan's vote instead of Saul's. I'm not sure if Saul ended up succumbing to Rome's threats and gave up his shot in the dark to him or what happened there, but either way, this was a huge blindside that is going to leave both Teeny and Kishan completely powerless in this vote. The votes are red, and we see that Kishan is the one who was unanimously voted out. Wow. I really was not expecting him to leave this early, y'all. Honestly, I was supposed to put Kishan on my winners list, but I guess not anymore. On the other hand, big congrats to Genevieve for popping out so much in this episode. I know that there is this small but mighty number of you Genevieve truthers out there who really believe that she's getting an underrated edit and that she's gonna win this game. And I see y'all out there, I do. I just don't know if I'm really ready to make that call quite yet. But I did still like what I saw today, and I'm excited to keep my eye on her game moving forward. Teeny was one of my top contenders, but her being left out of the vote here was obviously not very good. Some of this seemed to maybe be the consequences from the Aysha vote, so Teeny's stock is starting to lower in my eyes just a little bit, but I'm not ready to count her out completely just yet. I'm also still continuing to like the content I'm getting from Sam too, but I'm still not getting any super strong winner vibes from him either. Of course, I want to know, what do you think of the choice to vote out Kishan? Do you think that they made the right move, or should it have been someone else instead? Let me know in the comments below. Like I said earlier, this was probably my favorite episode of this new season so far, and I'm sure things are just going to get even more and more exciting from here. I can't wait to be back here to recap the next episode with you all, but until then, peace.